Hey guys, it's Texas 27 here. Finally decided to create my own broadcast. I've kind of been debating it with myself for the past couple of weeks. So, I'm a huge Texas fan and a huge college football. I also love March Madness, college basketball season. Awesome, awesome. Love those two sports. Uh, and root for Texas in both of them. Texas is my favorite school. So here's just what I think about the college football scenarios in this current season. Kind of a interesting year to me. A lot of the teams in the top ranked areas not looking as good as they have been in the past couple of years. Number one, Florida, winning on, I didn't watch it, but what seemed like some pretty controversial calls. And winning on a late game field goal, 23-20. Number two, Alabama. Another close game this past week, 12-10 against Tennessee with their game-winning field goal block. Could have been 13-10, 13-12 Tennessee. So, and even my Longhorns, number 3 Texas, kind of looking lackluster this season. They've been a second half team all season. Against, I went to the Wyoming game, which was very disappointing for me this season. Only up 10-6 at half until they finally picked it up in the second half. A scare, kind of. I knew they were gonna pick it up. I just didn't know when. Same thing happened against CU. 14-10 at halftime. We were losing by 4. But played a great second half. But for Texas this year, we've had a great defense under Will Muschamp, who's a great defensive coordinator. Our defensive guys like Sergio Kindle, Roderick McElroy, Earl Thomas, those kind of guys just playing phenomenal this season. So I'm really proud of our defense, but our offense, like I said, it's been a second half offense this for most of the season, except for, of course, our past game against Missouri, 41-7. Great game. Starting things off with Colt McCoy to Jordan Shipley for a long gain. And we just looked like we did last year when we were unstoppable, except for the Tech game, of course. Can't forget about that Tech game last year. But great win for us. Some other things I'm talking about. The Big Ten, I think they have a lower level of competition, kind of like the rest of the nation, but a lot lower in their standards, even with kind of okay teams in the past couple of years. Iowa, undefeated, but I don't think they look very good. They lost 16. They beat Northern Iowa 17-16 on a couple of field goal blocks, which I don't think that's how a top ranked team has to beat just Northern Iowa. I mean, a lot of the teams in the Big Ten aren't looking too good. Penn State is they were looking good until they lost to Iowa. Ohio State lost to Purdue, and they also lost in a great game against USC. But they fought hard in that game. But Purdue is, I would be very disappointed in the Purdue game if I were an Ohio State fan. Another thing I'm kind of mad about is Notre Dame. Notre Dame, they have this TV contract with some station, I think it's ABC or something, and they just get all their games played, even when they are just horrible. And this year, people are like, oh yeah, Notre Dame's back. They have this great quarterback. And you know what? Props to their quarterback. I've heard that he's been having a great season. But Notre Dame is still very inconsistent. They've just gotten really, really lucky. Past couple of games they've been decided by 6 points or something. They did take USC pretty good, but Michigan State, they won 33-30, barely beat Purdue. I think Washington was a close game also. Some of those teams upsetting good teams, but Notre Dame, it makes me mad how they get so much attention, and I just don't know why. Some more things. Big 12 North. They've been looking like the Big 12 North of 2005-ish season where Colorado won it, but it was like they all were not good. Colorado kind of won it by default that year. Of course, Texas went on and beat them 70-3, and ended up winning the national championship that year. But K-State, they're number one. I don't think they're very good. They lost 17-15 to some Sun Belt team. Iowa State, they beat Nebraska 9-7 this week. Kind of a bad game for Nebraska, really. A bunch of turnovers, like 8 turnovers, 4 something in the red zone. Not good for Nebraska fans. CU, they're not good this season. I'm from Colorado, so I know a lot about them. They changed their quarterbacks and they beat Kansas, and I'm like, oh, maybe Colorado can turn it around, but no, they didn't get it better. They looked like the same old Colorado with their 26 loss to Kansas State. Missouri, Texas just beat up on them. I don't know if they can really do anything with their quarterback's ankle still messed up. Kansas, overly hyped, I think, this season. They lost to Colorado. They just haven't looked very good this season. So another thing I want to talk about is BCS. BCS is such a horrible system. Okay, Texas got snubbed out of the BCS last season. And you know what? If some Texas Tech guy comes and says, oh, but we beat you guys need to forget that. I know you guys beat us. But you guys got stomped on by OU. And you guys beat us in the last play. And also because of Blake Gideon dropping that pick. And we beat OU by 10. So even if Texas did get in, I'd still think the BCS is just terrible because teams need it. I think they need a fair chance to win this national title, and the only way to do that is with a playoff. And I have proposed a playoff. I'll put it in this box, and I'll put a link to it so y'all can see it. And it's a 16 team playoff, seed playoff, and there's every single team with that wins their conference can go. So if you go undefeated in your season, you can win the national championship. Even if you're like in the Sun Belt, or Utah had a chance to win the national championship last year under my scenario. And Boise State a couple years ago, they would have had a shot. So, I just think this change to a playoff system is inevitable. I just don't know how long it will take some people to finally decide that's the right way to go. So if you're looking at my BCS system or my playoff system, you may be confused. It's the playoff system. What my theoretical playoff bracket for last year, and I'll probably update it for this upcoming year. But that will probably be around the time the Heisman Trophy is crowned. So yeah, expect for that to come up, and please comment on my system. That would be great. It's nice to hear comments from you guys. So that's all I really have to say. Thanks for watching.